Silt fence is by far the most common sediment control and the one that most people recognize. It's that black fencing that's around the perimeter of nearly every construction site. But it's not very well understood. There are as many different possibilities for silt fence as there are fabrics that can be woven or non-woven. And there are as many different possibilities for performance of a silt fence as there are spacings of posts or other ways of supporting silt fence. It's important to understand the proper use of silt fence. The silt fence is not so much intended to filter sediments out of water as it is to slow the water down or stop the water sufficiently for sediments to settle out. In our demonstration, we put up different fence setups to try and demonstrate just a handful of variables. We used a rather low flow silt fence, a higher flow silt fence. We had silt fence that was supported not just by the posts but also by steel fencing. And we had a new type of silt fence that has some high flow areas, but it's very flexible so that equipment could roll over it, knock it down, but it would bounce right back up. In the first silt fence segment and the second silt fence segment, we were able to see that it's important how well you tie the fencing up to the posts. As the water got higher, it overstressed the connections between the silt fence and the posts, and just the two ties that were used on either side were insufficient, and it broke free, which helps to understand how important installation is. On the third segment, which was a higher flow material, we added some additional tying between the silt fence and the posts, and that silt fence pooled, overflowed, but stayed able to contain the pool basically indefinitely because we kept it running as we went on to other demonstrations. What we saw in our fourth segment of silt fence was that the compaction in the trench wasn't quite up to snuff, so there was a fair amount of seepage underneath. So installation details for silt fence are absolutely critical. When properly installed with sufficient structure, a silt fence can completely pool, but it does require a real good selection of both materials and proper installation.